Good morning, everyone. How are you? Hope you're having a great start to your day. So today I'm doing kind of a compilation type video with stuff that I found on Twitter, stuff about Natter, stuff about Foodie Beauty, and stuff about BBJ. And for those who come to my channel and you are an animal lover, if you are a pet parent, if you are a pet owner, something I'd like to say to you. I understand if the stuff about BBJ makes you upset, and I totally understand if you cannot watch videos with me talking about BBJ. I understand completely. The subject of BBJ and how she's being treated and her suffering, it's something that hurts my heart. And I'm sure that if those of you out there that you love animals or you own animals, it hurts your hearts too. So I would like to say to everyone that the reason why I'm talking about BBJ again, and the reason that I will be talking about BBJ in the future, I am not doing videos to trigger anyone or make anyone upset. It's just that I love animals. I'm someone that I have a cat myself, Booger. Love her dearly. And Foodie Beauty, if she wants to hurt herself with food, with drugs, with whatever, she is a person and that is her choice. You know, she can do with her body what she wants. But it's an entirely different thing when you're someone and you have a pet and they depend on you. They depend completely upon you. And I'm sorry, as a pet parent, as someone that I love animals, I look at animals as special gifts that we as people are given that make our lives happier, that give us more love. I am not going to let Chantal off with this. The way she's treating BBJ, the obvious neglect, it doesn't have to happen. She herself, she has money to do whatever that needs to be done in the way of medical care, in the way of food. And even if she didn't have it, even if she didn't have a penny to her name, there are people that have stepped forward and said, if you need something, just ask. There are people that have stepped forward and said, if you don't want the cats anymore, we'll take them, no questions asked. And yet, she will not give up her pets, nor will she take care of her pets properly. And why does she do that? Out of spite. Honestly, out of spite. She did a live stream once, and she said that the reason why she denied her pets medical care was because it ticked off her haters. Making complete strangers on the internet mad is the most important thing to her. Like, she really, really loves that. She loves making all of us angry and upset and concerned. That matters the most to her, rather than her own pets. She's very oppositional. She's very defiant. And so whatever you tell Chantal to do, even if you say it nicely, she's going to do just the opposite. So the more people come at Chantal and say, you need to take the cats to the vet, the less likely she is to do it. And an interesting point about that, Chantal, she likes to call everyone haters. That doesn't buy into her BS, that doesn't kiss her behind. Question, Chantal, I have a question for you. So the reactors, the reaction community, the ones who are not VIBs, we're supposed to be haters. Is that correct? But yet, none of us over here have the attitude of screw you and screw your cats, we don't care. We very much care about BBJ and Sam. And there's a lot of people that have stepped forward and offered help. A lot of people. There's a lot of people on this side. We don't like you. We don't like what you do. But for the sake of the animals who are innocent in all of this, we can put that dislike aside for their sake. And if you needed help in any way, people would step forward and help you in whatever way you needed. So are we really haters? I don't think so. I really don't think so. It shows that there's a lot of people in this community that have good hearts, that despite all the things you've done, despite all the things you've said, despite how offensive you've been, despite you doing every awful thing you could think of, you've stressed everyone out, you've gotten everyone concerned. Despite all of that, people in this community are still saying, we don't like you, but if you need our help, we're willing to give it for their sake. To me, that screams of people who are not hateful. They're not hateful at all. So, haters, I don't think so. We may hate your behavior, Chantal. We may not like the things that you do or the things that you say, but deep down, we're all human and we care about the animals. And we want to see the best for them and we want to see them stop suffering. And yet you are almost insistent that it continues. And that is the most distressing part, that their pain and suffering is ongoing when it doesn't have to. All because Foodie Beauty makes it her business to make people on the internet angry and totally gets off on that. So, with that said, y'all, I know the BBJ stuff, it's a bit hard for y'all to watch. So that's why we're going to mix in different stuff with that. So it may not be as bad. So let me just go ahead and share the screen so you guys can see and hear everything. Okay. It's just stuff about Foodie and Natter and BBJ and also some cool like little animal videos that you might get into. Before we get started though, let me show y'all something. Aw, there's my baby. There's Booger. Look at the Booger. That's my girl. I took that picture 2 days ago. She was sleeping, curled up on the bed, staying warm. That's Booger. You see that, Chantal? That's what a happy pet looks like. A spoiled, rotten, well taken care of rascal. Because that's what she is. 9 years old, and she's still a rascal. That's how she got her name Booger in the first place. She was such a rascal that she would run and jump up and grab onto my hand with her little needle claws. And I'm like, oh, you're such a booger. And she's still a booger to this day. That's my girl. That's my baby. All right. So where do we start first, y'all? Okay, this tweet is from Shenanigans. Okay, for those who don't know, Dede and Natter did a stream last night, and man, they were flying high. They were both flying high. Like, we're used to Natter flying high and acting erratically, but Dede was especially twitchy last night. And here's something for y'all. When Dede got that really expensive necklace, the one that was like 5K, 6K, you know what my first thought was? You know, I'm wondering if Foodie sent them a little money to get the necklace, and then they got it, and then they used the money for party favors or something else. And I came to that feeling and that thought because in the past, Foodie Beauty, she's all about taking material things and trading them in for money or using them as cash. We all remember her TVs that got mysteriously broke or disappeared. We also remember the laptop from Cuba that she traded into one of the service staff for something. And we're all thinking that was for party favors. And isn't it funny that Dede just got that necklace? A very expensive necklace. Where's the necklace, Dede? Where's it at, girl? Isn't it funny that she just got that necklace? The necklace is gone, but they're extra tweaky tonight. I wonder where the money came from. Necklace is gone, but even Dede she's tweaking out hard. Let's watch the clip. Y'all see for yourself now.
Oh. I can't say that I'm very hungry, but I don't know why.
Like, she can't stand still.
Why am I not hungry?
I don't know. But actually, good. Don't eat it.
No, my lunch tomorrow, huh? I'm thinking of that too. Is there leftovers or no? No? Then this is my lunch tomorrow. I gotta watch my figure. I can't eat after a certain time.
Did you just see her face? Holy crap. Holy crap. Listen, y'all know that I used to live in Long Beach. And I live in a not great neighborhood. And there are a lot of people, and this is no shade on anyone who's homeless or has been homeless. My neighborhood was full of people that were homeless and also people that did a lot of drugs. And they acted like this. Not saying they were bad people. Okay, I met a lot of homeless people that were really nice and really cool. You just got to know how to talk to them and treat them decently and treat them like people. But the ones that were on drugs, similar behaviors.
I'm just kidding. That's a joke.
You really don't eat?
I'm eating someone as I watch you eat.
She don't like my food, guys.
I love your food. I don't know.
No, Dede, no, you don't. Why you lying? Why the F you lying? You know, you're always lying. Dede, you are lying, ma'am. Listen, we saw what he cooked this night. He burnt the food. He left some potatoes and some old oil. Girl, stop. You probably had to get super high just to swallow it. Who are you kidding? Like, I watched her eating this food. She looked like she wanted to vomit. She probably had to get super high just to eat this.
What did I eat today?
You eat nothing.
I know. Why am I not hungry? Maybe I'm upset.
No, we eat nothing.
Hmm? Hmm?
I make the morning.
So yeah, Dede, that expensive necklace did not last long. It didn't take long for that to disappear. And normally it's Natter who is twitchy and erratically just moving around and can't stand still. But this was a rare one. Like Dede was on something hardcore. Okay, we're going over here. There's my Twitter. Okay, here's something nice. Look, aw, it's a baby kangaroo. Baby kangaroos, when they're young, they travel in their mother's pouches. But if you got an orphaned roo, they have to simulate the pouch with a bag. So here's the baby roo. Like, oh, I'm going to jump in. Heads up. There's the baby roo. Okay, another nice clip. Cats being weird little guys. The bowl, it's empty. Do you see? Do you see this empty bowl? And what do you have to say for yourself? Do you see the bowl? Do you see it's empty? Why aren't you filling it up? Yeah, the roommate's cat does that to me all the time. They'll start talking to me till I give her food. She's very vocal. Hey, kitty. Okay, this is another moment that happened last night with Natter. He's going to set the stove on fire. Look. Well, and you know what, Natter? You're an idiot setting the stove on fire like that, bro. Look, you're lucky that you don't have one of those old school like regular stoves with the burners exposed. You would have burnt up that whole kitchen. Whole kitchen, bro. Look at you. You're trying to what, boil potatoes? I don't even know what you're making. You're an idiot. Look. It's already full, it's already bubbling, and he's adding more oil. What is the matter with you? You're stupid. If you're going to, whatever it is that is, at least put it in a big pot or something where there's space at the top for the oil to boil a bit. But it's literally boiling over. He's such an idiot. You call yourself a cook? Dude, no, you're not. And he could have burned the whole kitchen down. And it's not even his kitchen. It's not even his house. It's somebody else's house. This man should not be allowed inside anybody's kitchen. He just ruins it. Okay. This is from Lulu. She saved the best of her for the heart that understood the worst of her. I love that. So I retweeted it. Okay, this is funny. This is from Dave. Okay, so you got the owner, and you got Kitty. Kitty's having a spa day, and somebody's about to mess up his spa day. Let me take off your cucumber. The cat's like, no, get away from me. You're being very rude. Leave me alone. Dude, I'm at the spa. Why are you tripping? Get away from me. Cat's like, let me just chill. Spa day and chill. All right, this is from D. Angry Scott. Now, for those of you that have a pet, I'm sure you've all heard of artwork where you can have portraits painted of your pets. Now, this is kind of a neat idea. So this Instagram page literally made me cry. They make memorial woolen 3D portraits of people's pets. They're amazing, and they can even include some of the pet's hair into the wool. Check out their page if you want to cry a little. So there's one of the 3D portraits right there. So there's the artist making a memorial portrait for this cat here. What an amazing idea. And the page on Instagram is my wool ever friend. My_wool ever_friend. For those in my audience who might be interested in something like that, you can find this person on Instagram. Okay, this is from Paul Bronx. Now, we all have a friend, we've all had a friend that they're a bit feisty and they tend to get themselves into trouble and we have to rescue them before it happens. This is what's happening here. Here's this cat spotting a dog and they're about ready to pounce. And the other dog's like, no, I'm not in the mood tonight. No, Bob, we can't take you anywhere. You're coming with me. I'm not in the mood tonight. Look, I'm not breaking up a fight. You're coming back home. We've all had that situation where we're all just trying to hang. And then one friend feels feisty and they're like, no, not tonight. I don't feel like breaking up a fight. No, you're coming home. So that's from Paul Bronx. Okay, this is in regards to BBJ. This is from Texas Toast. This is a vet stressing the importance of why pet owners need to have their nails trimmed. So Texas Toast says, hey, POS, Foodie Beauty and Peetz, check out this vet calling your BS out. Take care of those cats. So please, I got to turn off the volume because there is some music. Please do not let your dog's nails or cat's nails get this overgrown. So here's the nail that's overgrown. You see where my pointer is? That's an overgrown nail. This is what it does. It can curl up like this or curl up under a animal's foot pads. If you can imagine what it would be like to have your toenails curve under your feet and go into your feet, that's what it's like for a cat or a dog or any pet. That's why they have to have their nails trimmed every 4 to 6 weeks. And it's been longer than that for BBJ because Chantal did not take her cats to the vet or the groomers before she went to Kuwait. She's been in Kuwait for over 2 months, so I'm sure the nails are looking rough right now, which could mean that the cat could be in pain at this very minute. So here's the nail. It can create significant infection and be very painful to your dogs and cats. True. Because if the nails penetrate the skin, that can lead to infection. That could lead to them not being able to walk. That's why it's important to keep up with the nail care. And this is a vet saying this. You know, Foodie and Peetz, they've been coming back at people saying, you're not a vet. You're not a vet. You can't say that. Well, guess what, Foodie and Peetz? This is a vet saying this. So what do you got to say now? An actual vet saying this. What have you got to say now? Oh, this is, put this in the more you know category. This is from Kristen saying, if anyone wanted to report Foodie Beauty for ban evading during her timeout, here is the URL for that forbidden upload. Yeah, because Foodie, she did a naughty no-no. She was on a 7-day timeout, and she decided to upload a couple's vlog to the couple's channel. That's a no-no, Foodie. A 7-day timeout is a 7-day timeout. It doesn't mean you go on your other channel and post something. So she posted it, and then she immediately deleted it because she knew she would get in trouble. Because if you're on a 7-day timeout, a 7-day ban, because you got a strike, if you do anything that is rule breaking within that ban, that means you'll get another strike or potentially have your account taken. So she did a naughty no-no, and then she quickly got rid of it. But Kristen is saying, if anyone wanted to report Foodie Beauty for ban evading during her timeout, here's the URL for that forbidden upload, and she gives the link. Courtesy of Valgal, Valgal says, hey, did you know that even if content is deleted, you can still go to the About tab, click on the flag, and report the entire darn user and channel. The more you know. I didn't know that. Interesting information. Thank you, Valgal. Thank you, Kristen, for that retweet. Oh, the kitty looks like Booger. Doesn't she look like Booger? Kitty's having a dream where they're drinking milk. She's having a pleasant dream. Hi, kitty. Okay, so this is from Indy. I'm not a doctor. I will never claim to have a medical degree or medical training, but I thought this was interesting to repost. Psychologist and neuroscientist at Georgetown University. These are some of the key traits that manifest an extreme psychopathy. Callous and selfish approach to interpersonal relationships. A lack of empathy in response to others' suffering or distress. Does not show remorse after hurting others or breaking rules. Little sense of identity or self. Manipulates people to get things. All of those things are Foodie. All of them. She checks off all those boxes. That is so Foodie Beauty to a T. This is from D. Angry Scott, and this might be upsetting to those of you that are pet parents or animal lovers. But again, remember what I said. I'm not talking about BBJ to make anyone upset or triggered. I'm holding this one accountable. I'm not letting her off. If she wants to hurt herself, that's one thing. She's a grown adult woman. She makes whatever choices she makes for her own body. But an innocent animal that has no choice but to depend on their owner for their care, for everything, and then you're a neglectful owner when you don't have to be, because people have stepped forward saying, if you don't want them, we'll take them. Or if you need money or you need help, just say something and you're not taking it out of spite. I'm sorry, I'm not going to let you off. I'm not going to let you get away with it. I'm going to talk about it forever. I'm going to let everybody know what a horrible, cruel person you are. And here's an example of Foodie's cruelty. Like there's something wrong with her, something not normal. Because where most people, just the mere thought of losing their pet would make them upset and make them all choked up, this one laughs about it. She thinks it's funny. She and Peetz have both made morbid jokes about BBJ being euthanized and, oh, if she requires medication, she needs a dirt nap. I'm sorry to say this, and again, I'm not saying this to trigger anyone, it's just the truth. I think Foodie has already planned BBJ's fate. And the more people come forward and urge her to take her to the vet, the less likely she is to do it. But I think she's already planned her fate. I think she looks at her cats as being burdens. She's reached that point with her life and her addictions and obsessions that all she wants to do is give in to her impulses, her addictions, and her obsessions. And anything that is not a part of that, she's bored with it. She has no time for it. But here is Foodie laughing about BBJ. And again, this might upset some people. I apologize. But this is me holding her accountable. And because I want to show everybody just how cruel and thoughtless she is when she doesn't have to be.
BBJ going to the vet and not coming home.
Like, who does this? BBJ has been with her for 20 years, nearly 20 years. 2 decades. Chantal, BBJ has been with you even before Natter, before Sala, before most of the men in your life. She was there. She was there even before Peetz, and you've known Peetz for 17 years. And this is the thanks she gets. You joking about her death. You not giving a crap. You can't even do the simple human thing and say to yourself, I don't want her anymore. Maybe I should give her to somebody else. She's a burden to me, but I'm going to do right by her by giving her to another person to take care of, because I don't have it in me to do it any longer. You won't even do that. My opinion, I think you are purposely keeping her because you like to tick people off. You know that they want you to give her away. Out of spite, out of rebellion, you're not going to do it. But also, I think you've neglected that poor baby so badly that you don't want all of that neglect exposed. And you're afraid that if you give the cat to someone to take care of, that all of that neglect might be exposed. Somebody might make a video on YouTube and say, I've got BBJ and I took her to the vet, and here is what all is wrong with her. And then you're really going to get roasted. So if you keep her and she passes away, or you keep her and you have her euthanized, all of everything you've done to her will be hidden and you won't get crap for it. That's why you keep her, not out of love. You don't love her. You don't even love Sam anymore. You're bored with it. Your interest is chasing around strange men that don't love you and paying them for their time. You don't love your pets. And yet you won't even show a little bit of humanity and give them to someone who will love them. I think everything that BBG and Sam have endured with you, living in a filthy, disgusting house, you being gone most of the time, I think they both deserve a good end of life, whatever that may be. Now, if they've endured a lot with you, give them to somebody to give them a happy ending, because it's not going to come from you. But you joking about BBJ like this is disgusting, beyond disgusting. Okay, there's something funny. We're going to break it up with something funny. This is from Mionk. The kitty got into the catnip. Look, he's done. He's toast. See, kitty, listen, this is why your owner only gives you a little bit. See what happens when you do too much? You're gone. Absolutely gone. This is why you don't eat the whole bowl. The owner's like, see, Bob, see, Bob, this is why we don't have nice things, because of you. We can't go anywhere and leave you alone for 5 minutes. This is what happens. All right. All right, so this is from D. Angry Scott. I retweeted this for a reason. Because, okay, D. Angry Scott says, someone shared this woman's TikTok before, and I would highly recommend checking out her page. It's interesting in a how the elite live kind of way, but it's also funny because it's like someone living out Foodie's dream. So I looked at this woman's page. She has a husband over in the Middle East. And as you can see, she lives very, very well with her husband. He spoils her rotten. I retweeted this because I looked at her page and I'm like, I just have to wonder, did Foodie kind of get the idea for this arc that she's doing from this woman? And isn't it also funny that Foodie, out of nowhere, she wanted to be on TikTok and do TikTok content? Is it because of this young lady and her husband, or someone like her? She just got this fantasy going on in her head because of watching this individual live out her best life, and she was trying to recreate it in a very strange way. You have to wonder. Foodie is somebody that she's not above nor below getting ideas from people, from channels, from movies, from books, and just incorporating that stuff into her story arc. So did she see this woman living her best life with her husband or in the Middle East and decide she wanted to imitate her and it just didn't quite work? You have to wonder. You just have to wonder. This is also from D. Angry Scott. It's the same clip, but D. Angry Scott says, I fully believe Foodie Beauty knows that there's a good chance taking BBJ to the vet will result in a large bill. So she's sitting hoping BBJ dies slowly, alone, in pain and discomfort at home. Why pay out all that money when she's broke, needs to get a new flat, and finds the idea hilarious? You know, this is where I want to scream at Foodie. I really want to scream in her face. She's on YouTube. She makes decent money. Whatever both cats need, she could easily take care of it. She's got the funds. She's got the funds. She won't spend a few $100s at a vet's for medication or a checkup or blood work or anything. But yet, this beast, this feral beast, will drop $9,000 plus to fly to another country to spend time around a guy that she's not even being intimate with. So Foodie can't come back at us and say, well, I didn't have the money. I was broke. I couldn't take her to the vet. You got the money, Foodie. It's just that you are very self-absorbed and selfish. And you only want to spend your money on yourself and what feels good to yourself. And spending money on your pets, that's something that has to do with them and their care. It's not about you indulging in something to satisfy some impulse. Going to a vet has nothing to do with your pleasure, so you're not interested. You spent $9,000 on a dude that you're not even married to because you want to be around a guy and have eye candy. But money spent on your pets, well, you just can't be bothered. Hence the reason why I say, if you're looking at your pets as a burden to all the pleasure that you're seeking out these days, give them to somebody else who won't look at them as a burden, who has the time, who has the money, and will spend it willingly, eagerly. You're not in that mind frame right now. But I agree with D. Angry Scott. As heartless as it is, as upsetting it may be to those of you listening right now, I think Chantal is just hoping that something happens to BBJ and then she doesn't have to spend any money. She's trying to get out of it by just making her suffering worse. And Peetz isn't exactly helping over there. Okay, something fun. So here's the dog scraping out the food and the water in the bowl. Cat's coming over like, dude, no, we're going to get in trouble. Stop making a mess. She's going to yell at both of us. She's going to think I did it. Cut it out. The cat is basically policing the dog. Dude, no, cut it out. You're making a mess. Rude. That's from Myung. Okay, this tweet is from Mrs. Robinson. Now, Natter has been exposing old text messages and voicemails from Foodie. I got some thoughts on that. Y'all want to hear what my thoughts are? Let me just tell you what my thoughts on that. Let me just kind of sum up everything between Foodie and Natter. I think Foodie and Natter, they're both equally evil. I think they're both grifters, scammers, liars, con artists, manipulators. But Natter is small time compared to Foodie. Like he had his own system of grifting and scamming and lying before Foodie. But when he met Foodie, he discovered that he was small time compared to her. Like she's on another level that he couldn't even imagine. I'm sure they both met each other, and in their arrogance, in their narcissistic brains, they both underestimated each other. She looked at him and thought, oh, he's a loser, crackhead, idiot, stupid. I can get what I want from him. And he looked at her and thought, oh, she's just, she's desperate. She's thirsty for love. All I got to do is say some nice, kind words to her and I can get anything I want out of her. They both underestimated each other. And they've been locking horns ever since. But I think another thing that Natter did wrong when it came to Foodie, in his arrogance, he thought, even though I know she's unstable and she's very emotional and she's impulsive, I know these things about her. In his arrogance, he thought that he could maneuver his way around that big minefield, that huge, smelly, unstable, emotional pile of dynamite to get money out of her. He thought he was smarter than her. That he could just maneuver his way around her unstable, wrathful, vengeful self and get what he wanted. And he would walk away unscathed. Natter, I don't like you, dude. I think you're a scumbag. Always thought so. Will continue to think so. What part of unstable do you not understand? What part of wrathful do you not understand? Foodie is a control freak. And she's unstable. And she's emotional. And she's a manipulator and a con artist and a liar. And she has no sense of empathy for people. She is a predator. Let's just call it for what it is. She is a predator. She preys on people. She wants what she wants, and when she gets what she wants from you, she'll use you and throw you away. And if you're someone and you make the lethal mistake of accepting any kind of help from her, from that moment on, you owe her, and she owns you. And look at all the time and money she spent on you. A lot. So you are now her possession. She'll never let you go. But for all the hate that you say you have for Foodie, and all the hate she says she has for you, neither one of you jokers are throwing strikes at each other. I find that very telling. It would seem that all the hate you guys have for each other is made up, because as wrathful as she is, why isn't she throwing strikes at you, bro? And why aren't you doing anything to her? You hate each other, but yet you guys won't block each other on social media. You still accept each other's messages. I mean, people who hate each other turn their backs and don't turn around. So it all looks made up to me. You hate somebody, you break off contact completely. You don't keep accepting their money. Foodie sent him money right before she went to Kuwait. Sent him pictures of Salah, which I think is beyond weird. So all of this hate that we're seeing from Foodie and Natter, it's scripted, it's made up. Because again, the obvious squirrel is obvious. If they hated each other, they would stop communicating. If they hated each other, she wouldn't keep sending him money. But she does. And she keeps talking about him on her channel to keep him relevant so that people will go to his channel and watch him. Likewise, he does the same for her. This whole thing is planned. It's planned. But back to the original point, Natter, this woman is unstable. Foodie is unstable. And if you think you can play around with a warehouse-sized pile of nitroglycerin and dynamite, you think you can walk around that pile and pick up the dollar bills that are laying on the ground and walk out unscathed? You're wrong, sir. You are wrong. You don't play with crazy. You understand? There's an old saying, don't stick your D in crazy, or don't let crazy stick its D in you. She's unstable. She's evil crazy. She's unstable and getting worse. I'm not trying to diagnose Foodie. I am not throwing shit on anyone who has any kind of mental issues or problems. But please let me just say this. As someone that I've been watching Foodie for a long time, I think, this is my opinion now, I think if you're someone and you put yourself in the public spotlight, you become an entertainer, you entertain people. I think it's important that if you're an entertainer, that you keep a line between whatever character you play and your real life self. There has to be a line. There has to be two definite sides, because then everything's balanced. I think long ago there was a Chantal Marie before YouTube. And that person was rotten and evil and spoiled and selfish. But then when she got on YouTube and she created the Foodie Beauty character, the over-exaggerated, sloppy, messy person, that was a character that she came up with to make money. And unfortunately, she poured everything she had into Foodie Beauty versus fixing Chantal Marie. She gave all of her focus, all of her attention, all of her concern to Foodie Beauty. She had nothing left for Chantal Marie. That's why Chantal Marie does not have a life, doesn't have any interest, doesn't have any passions. Everything is Foodie Beauty. Foodie Beauty, the character on YouTube, is somebody. Foodie Beauty has a channel of 93K subscribers, right? Foodie Beauty, when she turns on the camera, there are people to talk to her that want to hear what she has to say. Foodie Beauty has worth online. But when the camera's turned off, Chantal Marie doesn't have that. Do you understand? You see where I'm going with this? So because of that, Foodie Beauty is on all the time. There is no Chantal Marie. It's all Foodie Beauty. Every time she talks to somebody new, she has to mention her channel, how many subscribers she has. All of her self-worth and all of her identity is wrapped up in Foodie Beauty. There's nothing left for Chantal Marie. That's why Chantal Marie's real life is a mess. Her finances are a mess. Her house is a mess. Her pets are neglected. Because all of her attention is on the character, not the person. You've neglected the person in favor of the character, Chantal. You've neglected your pets in favor of the character, Chantal. So if you want to continue to be the character, you don't want to ever get out of character, it's time to give the pets to somebody who will do right by them. You know, if you want to live in your delusions, your fantasy, your character, do it, but take out that which relies on the person. If the person's not reliable, then just release those that are innocent that rely on the person. If the person's not reliable anymore and it's all the character, take them out so that they can live. And then if you want to continue to live in your fantasy world, go ahead. Do it. But know this, Chantal, know this. As someone that I have been an entertainer, and I've been on stages myself. I used to do theater, been a dancer. Take it from me, mama. Every entertainer, you have to have that moment where you take your makeup off. You change into your street clothes. And you walk out into the night alone with just yourself. You cannot be in character all the time. Because by doing that, you're burning the candle at both ends. You are wearing yourself out. You have to decompress. You got to come back down to earth. You can't be in character all the time. It's not healthy. It's healthy to have a real life, and it's healthy to entertain people, but you've got to balance it. You're not balancing. You're all about Foodie Beauty, the character, not Chantal Marie, the person. Get your head out of your ass. Take care of your real life too, and that which depends on you. And if you can't, let somebody else do it. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, this is a clip from Chantal's deleted comments. Now, I retweeted this because this is Chantal saying, I'll let you hate me if you just don't support him. Don't support him, he's an abuser. Begging them not to support Natter. Doesn't she have bigger concerns yet? This is what takes forefront in her mind. Okay, so let's listen to the clip because I got lots of thoughts.
Why do people hate you so much? Why do people hate you so much? And my answer would always be, I don't know. Like, what the hell? People are just mad. Like, they're just jealous or they're just mad. Like,
jealous. I'm sorry, I can't play the whole clip. I got to stop it. Jealous of what, Chantal? I really want an answer to that question. Jealous of what? What do you have that those of us who react to you and those of us that watch you that we don't have or we can't get? Please tell me. What do you have that is unobtainable, that we can't get to? Name whatever it is. I'll tell you what I have that you don't have. I have a sense of stable mind. I have my reason. I have my logic. I have good friends. I have a cat named Booger who's healthy. I have my health. I have people that care about me. I don't have to pay them to be there. So already I've got things that you don't have. But you don't have them because you don't want them. You don't work on them. You don't care about them. You care about nothing but yourself. So what do you have exactly that we don't have? Money? Let me tell you something. Money is a thing. Money is not a thing. Anybody in the world can get it. They can make it as much as they want. So you got a YouTube paycheck. Whoop-de-doo. Anybody can get on YouTube and make a channel and make that YouTube money, girl. Some people that are reacting to you are making more than you. So again, what do you have that we don't have? And on the subject of reactors, a word. We aren't your puppets. We are not your puppets. 1 minute you hate us. You call us content thieves, vultures. You use other people to throw strikes because in your mind, we're taking revenue out of your pocket. You remember what you did with Natter. We know it was you, that you wanted to throw strikes, but you didn't want to endanger your channel. So you talked to Natter and had him throw 147 strikes, girl. That was you. That was not him. That was you. And that way you could sit back and say, it wasn't me. We know it was you. You're over there, like when it suits you, when you're in the mood, you'll have other people throw strikes. You'll make problems. And here you are, coming back around, saying, don't support him. You can hate me if you don't support him. Let me tell you something, Chantal. Couple of things of note. We don't need your permission to not like you. We don't like you anyway. We'll give that up for free. But we don't like him either. Nobody is supporting Natter. And if you're talking about people going over there and watching his live streams and whatnot, hey, remember, you brought him on this platform. You created a channel for him. You did his thumbnails. You edited his videos. You brought him here. And if he's an abuser, you knew that even before you made him a channel. But let's be honest, you made him a channel because you were weaving your sticky, toxic web around him so that he couldn't escape. You were creating that toxic web of need so that he couldn't get away from you. You always want your men to need you rather than love you. Don't think I haven't noticed that the last independent, strong, hardworking man that you were with was BB. And ever since BB, you look for guys that are disadvantaged in some way. Be it maybe they don't really understand English very well, or they can't speak very well. They got problems with the language, or they're lacking in money. You look for men that are disadvantaged, that are maybe lacking in funds. And then you come forward acting like Mother Teresa. I've got the money. I can help you. You can rely on me. But you're not really giving true help or generosity. You're creating a web of need. Let me do this for you. Let me do that for you. Creating a web of need so they can't get away from you. I remember the live stream you did where you're saying, I just have to get into his house. I think you left a part out. You said, I just have to get into his house. But the part that you did not say that matters is, I just have to get into his house, because after that, then I can just start to get into his life. That was the missing part. You get into a guy's house, you leave your stuff there, just so he can't get away from you. You're always calling him, but then you work on integrating yourself into that person's life so that you can stay close and they can't get away. But nobody likes Natter. Nobody's truly supporting Natter. But if you got a problem with people watching him, shouldn't have brought him here. And don't you dare go to the reactors and say, I'll let you hate me if you don't support him. Nobody's supporting him. But we don't need your permission to not like you. You've given us plenty of reason to not like you. We are not your puppets. You can't tell us what to do, who to react to, what to say. So you can stop all that manipulating crap right now. Ma'am, keep it over there. Okay, this is from Jay. Chantal, I get to keep making 5 figures a month, eating and screaming Peetz, and I get to keep living off of her. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Peetz is determined to hang on to Chantal no matter what. The part that he's not getting is that she's desperate to scrape him off her side. And at some point she will. At some point she's going to get tired, really tired, and she might pack her bags up in the middle of the night and leave him there alone to deal with the back rent, with everything, with the damages to the apartment. I mean, his name is on the lease, not hers. She can leave whenever she wants. Leave him high and dry. She's done it before with Peetz. She might do it again. And Peetz is determined to live off of her. He's determined to live off of her. Peetz, listen, how old are you? How old are you? Do you honestly think this right here is someone reliable that you can look at and the two of you are going to grow old together and she's going to support you the entire way? No, she's not. You're not Peter Pan, dude. Grow up. You both need to grow up and stop being so codependent on each other. It's toxic. It's not healthy. Okay, so this is from Miss Anthropope. Now, this might be upsetting for some of you. A close-up of BBJ's back foot with the nail. It doesn't look right. It shouldn't be distended like that while at rest. There's no excuse for Chantal. Her own words, an overactive thyroid could shorten her life expectancy. BBJ is very vocal and only eating treats. It's not normal. No, because BBJ is not a vocal cat, first of all. I've been watching Chantal for the longest. BBJ's never been vocal unless she's hungry. And it's not healthy for a cat to only eat treats. She needs actual food. Treats are not a substitution for food. But here's a picture of her feet. Here's BBJ. There's the foot in question. Look at the nail. That doesn't look right. Her feet should not look like that. Close up. There's the nail. I have a cat. When they sit down, their claws go in naturally. That doesn't look right. I mean, y'all saw the picture of my booger. She's sleeping. She's sleeping. When she sleeps, her claws go in because she's relaxed. Something's going on with the nails. Okay. Again, this is from Miss Anthropope, Lulu. Her thyroid number was above normal a year ago. And the gunt knew this and still didn't take her back. Instead, she went to Cuba and then chased gonads for months. BBJ has become a burden to her, and make no mistake, she doesn't give a crap about it. She's suffering. So here's Chantal.
I'm gonna make an appointment for Chubby Moo and get his blood work done. And so BBJ, like her kidney levels, like, or her thyroid, like typically the cat should be like between 20 and 40. So hers was like 41, but the doctor's not concerned of really about it, like overactive thyroid. But
you know, she makes it sound like she said that the vet is not concerned. What she actually means is she's not concerned. She's not concerned. And her and Peetz have gone on record as saying that the vet, the picture they paint of their vet is the vet, it just doesn't care. When it actually, it's them. They don't care. Chantal and Peetz, they blame everything on BBJ being old. Oh, she's old. It's normal. It's perfectly fine. They both want to believe that. And they keep telling themselves that because as long as they keep blaming it on her age and thinking like, oh, she's just old. She's still healthy. That relieves them of the responsibility of taking BBJ to the vet. And then Chantal would have to spend time going to the vet. And she would have to spend money going to the vet. And those are things she does not want to do. So she and Peetz are looking for mental ways out of it by saying, oh, she's just old. She's just old. She's not sick. There's no urgency here.
I was like talking about my doctor to the doctor about how I can like preserve her life expectancy, like so she can live forever. And she's like, repeat the blood work in like 3 to 4 months just to be sure that, because if her thyroid level does creep up, that's something that can shorten the life expectancy very quickly. So hi, Echo Aries, Gail, Cat Peloton. Yes, it is good. Yes, I'm glad I took her to the vet. So you guys were right about that. Of course. And I was going to take her. I just don't like people fucking.
You know what's really disgusting is that Chantal will use anything to make into content to get those views. And she was very happy to use her cats as long as she could to get those views. Like she was always bringing the cats on camera and talking to them in the baby voice and all that. But it would seem that she's not content with just talking to the cats and acting like a cat mama. She's moved on to, let's talk about men and her sexual encounters and all the drama. Her pets are now just props to her that she no longer wants. And especially poor BBJ. Chantal has an unhealthy hatred for anything that is a female. I don't know why she hates anything that's female, but she does. But yet, for all of her hatred, she just won't give her to someone that will take care of her. She'd rather wait until something harmful happens.
Down my throat, like, you're a bad cat owner because you're not taking her this month. I'm gonna make an appointment for Chubby Moo and get his blood work done. And
it's like you were very happy to use your cats to make money on YouTube, but I guess now because they're not making you that much money, they're no longer important. Like you used them all up and now it's time to throw them away. Seems you have a pattern with that, Chantal. You seem to have a pattern of picking something that becomes your new flavor of the week. You run right through it, you use it up, and then you throw it away. You do that with animals, you do that with people. So let's see, there's another clip from Miss Anthropo.
Abby, so the vet called. I always get such nice vets for BBJ. And said, basically, like she had geriatric blood work the last time I was there. And so she was like really surprised for like her age, how good her blood work was. Like,
you know she's lying. You know she's lying. From what I understand, BBJ, she has thyroid issues, she has kidney issues, so I doubt that her blood work looked healthy. This is just the lies that Chantal tells people to where she looks like a good person, but looking like a good person and being a good person are two different things, Chantal.
like she was surprised. She's like, so, but she wants me to, like, I still have her gabapentin, so, hi Karen, yes, I missed you, Bam, how you been? What was I saying? Well, her weight, like the doctor would like her to, I said that since she's had her like nails done and her checkup, like she's actually like put a bit of weight on, like her nails were growing, like Sam's nails are fine, but BBJ like will not let me cut her nails, and she's like stresses too much, and her nails grow quicker, and like she doesn't scratch as much as Sam, so like her nails were growing quicker and they were like starting to grow under. So I felt really bad about that, but like since her paws got taken care of and everything, like she's been eating better and like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if part of her problem with eating was that she was in pain because of her nails, and then her nails were clipped and she started eating better. Hello, ding, ding, ding. She wasn't eating because she was in pain. And how long ago was this, Chantal? How long ago was this that this was done? How long has it been since she's had a nail clip? And I understand if the cat gets stressed out, they don't like their nails touched, but if it's got to happen, it's got to happen. Like a little bit of discomfort, the reward is they're not in pain anymore and they can continue to eat and be healthy, but I don't think you're concerned with that. You'll leave a pet to suffer. Okay, here's something cool. Deserted places, an old greenhouse. I love greenhouses. And look at the size of this thing. If that's a deserted greenhouse, can you imagine how great it must look inside? Like all the plants you could grow. Oh, I mean, that's a lovely greenhouse. It's a shame that it's been deserted. Someone needs to use that for something. Oh, this is a sweet picture from Shaw. Look at the loving family. Look at the babies. You got Mama providing the snack bar. You've got Papa checking in on Mom. What a picture. Look at the little beans. They look like my booger. Look like baby booger when she was little. All right. This is from the Angry Scott. Wow, it's actually worse than I thought. BBJ looks so thin, like she's not cleaning herself. Her eyes are cloudy. I quickly tried to find a comparison fitting. The most recent I could find was her vlog about 4 months ago, the Pride vlog. How has Foodie Beauty even seen how she looks? If she has, she doesn't care. She's too focused on herself. And I have noticed that BBJ's eyes look a little cloudy, which is a cause for concern. She might have some cataracts. She needs her eyes looked at. Uh, Sometimes cats, when they get older, they might become blind. Uh, but even if BBJ were to suffer blindness, that's still no reason to put her down, because I had an ex with a black cat named Morgana, and she got to be over 20 years old, and she developed, blindness. But Morgana was very, very smart. Even though she was blind, she could still find her way around the house. She knew where everything was. She lived a long life until she passed away in her sleep. Florida Salt and Sass, BBJ used to be large and fluffy. Most of what we see now is her coat. She's probably skin and bones underneath that. This is just heartbreaking, and you can't necessarily fix medical conditions in elderly cats. So, yeah, big cats that look like they're big and fluffy, when you give them a bath, that's when you see how big they really are. Sometimes, like a long-haired, fluffy cats, you give them a bath and then you see just how small they really are. So I wouldn't doubt that for BBJ, that maybe her fluffy coat is disguising just how thin she's gotten. Mrs. Robinson says, Foodie Beauty, to follow up on my tweet about her being a sociopath. I said it and I meant it, and not just about her lack of empathy. Chantal checks every single sociopathic trait listed, a textbook one, and sociopaths are more likely to never seek help. She'll never, ever, ever change. Okay, so Mrs. Robinson posts, consistent patterns, behavior patterns in sociopaths include lack of empathy for others, impulsive behavior, attempting to control others with threats or aggression, using intelligence, charm, or charisma to manipulate others, not learning from mistakes or punishment, lying for personal gain, showing a tendency to physical violence in fights, generally superficial relationships, sometimes stealing or committing other crimes, threatening to unalive themselves without intention to act. Foodie checks off all these boxes. She's done all this stuff. But only a psychiatrist would know if she's a sociopath or she's got some other disorder. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to diagnose her. But yeah, like, as far as all the stuff listed, she didn't leave anything out. Okay, so this is Mrs. Robinson. So Allah, the new friendly novella villain that is popped up, he's throwing a little bit of shade and showing the flat that Foodie and Sala were living in before they moved. And I'm not one to shame anybody for where they live. You know, your home is your home. If it makes you happy, it makes you happy. But I think in Foodie's case, given the fact that she has shamed people for where they live, saying awful things about Kaya and where she lives, and saying that French Fry Girl lives in a Motel 6 room, her being in Kuwait, I think her living in this flat is kind of karma. Just because she has shamed people for where they live, I think it's karma's way of laughing at her. You know, haha, bitch. Pretty much. Like, this is karma saying, oh, you want to shame people for where they live? Well, we're going to teach you a lesson. So Foodie has been living in not a whole lot of luxury while being in Kuwait. Now, you want to make fun of people's living conditions, Foodie, we're going to make you live kind of rough. So here's Salah showing the place. Yeah, definitely not luxury accommodations at all. Let's see. We cry for food and shelter. Says the confessions we all already knew. The gunt is bigger than ever. Of course she gained weight. She hasn't changed at all. I knew Foodie was gaining weight. I know that she's been wearing an abaya, to try to disguise her weight gain, but she's eating more, she's binging more, and she's not going out, she's not doing anything. So she's gaining a lot more weight, and she needs to slow down.
And me, I threw out my back, so I can't hardly even move. And now I've gained weight. Now I have to worry about how the hell I'm gonna fit on the plane on the way back home, because I barely fit. And I was like dieting for like, did I diet before?
You did not diet. Don't sit there and lie to people. You were not dieting. And y'all already know my feelings about that anyway. If you have an ED, diets don't work. They just don't work. Diets are things you do to lose a little bit of weight. If that's, like 5 or 10 pounds or something before the holidays you want to fit into your dress or your pair of pants, that's what diets are for. But in Chantal's situation, she needs an entire lifestyle change. See, the thing with diets is at some point you get off the diet, correct? Right. Well, that would not work for Chantal. She's got a very severe ED. She has BED. And she has food aggression. And she's an emotional eater. Like, she basically eats her feelings, and she eats her anger, and she eats pretty much anything. And that is her only coping mechanism for anything that's wrong. So you put Foodie in a room for 2 or 3 months with nothing to do, no car, angry, miserable. What do you think is going to happen? She's going to gain weight. She's going to self-soothe herself with food. And she has been. So she has gained a lot of weight.
I took the plane, or did I eat pannier the night before? I can't remember. And
you don't have to tell us, Foodie. Like, we can look at you and tell. Even with the filters, we can tell. Because the filters only work for your face. But what about the rest of you? The abayas that you're wearing are too small. The abayas are supposed to be loose to where you can't see the body form. But with you, we see everything. They're showing more than you think. Okay, this clip is from Liz Mobley. This clip was clipped by Texas. This part's going to make you angry, guys. It's going to make you mad. Let's play it.
contacts if she needs to go to the vet. But I'm not going to just take her to the vet for false outrage when she's not even sick. It's not going to happen. You can hate
Okay, this is also courtesy of Just Saying. This is Just Saying being Little Dumpling.
me all you want.
How
If she needs to go to the vet. But I'm not going to just take her to the vet for false outrage when she's not even sick. It's not going to happen. You can hate me all you want.
how do you know? Do you have what did she say?
I'm
Sensors
talking
connected
about
to
euthanizing
her?
yeah.
How do
Because
you
she's old and
know?
sick. Contacts if she needs to go to the vet. But I'm not going to just take her to the vet for false outrage when she's not even sick. It's not going to happen. You can hate me all you want.
How do you know? Do you have what did she say?
I'm
Sensors
talking about
connected to
euthanizing
her?
yeah.
How do
Because
you
she's old and
know?
sick.
Yeah, how do you know? She doesn't know. Chantal has made the diagnosis already. Oh, she's not even sick, even though she's not a vet. She doesn't have any training in the medical care of animals. She's just saying that to get out of paying for anything. And here's the crazy thing. If she doesn't want to pay, other people have offered to pay. Other people have offered to pay for a vet visit. Imagine that. There's no excuse now. Beyond the fact that you're just a spiteful, evil person, Chantal, and you're determined to make her suffer when she doesn't have to suffer. There are tons of people that have said, if you need help, if you need money, if you need someone to pay for a vet visit, we will cover that. All you have to do is make the phone call, woman. Get a mobile vet out there. Take her to a vet. You know what? If you don't want to go to a static location with BBJ, you could hire someone to take her for you. There's a way around everything. Where there's a will, there's a way. You're just spiteful and evil. You're determined to make her suffer. I don't know why you and Peetz hate BBJ so badly. She's a cat. What has she done wrong? Why are you so determined to make her suffer? For what crime is she paying for? Just for being a female? You got her 20 years ago if she was a female. You were fine with her then. Where did all this hatred come from? Why do you hate anything female so much? That you're so petty and so spiteful and so evil that you'll let something suffer. And I don't want to bring religion into this, but just a small point. You're supposed to be a newly converted Muslim. Is that correct? Aren't you supposed to have compassion for other living things? Be more caring, empathetic? You're not. How can you sit there and wear the abaya and say you're a newly converted Muslim and talk this cruel, this awful about your own pet? How can you do that? You should be ashamed of yourself. Absolutely ashamed. So here's a picture of BBJ. This picture was taken June 22nd. She looks a lot better here. Okay, this is from Natter's stream where he's exposing the messages. You see this? She's spamming the same message over and over. This is giving me such the Shining Jack Torrance vibes of all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Natter, listen, if you got a woman doing this to you, it's time to block them. Money be damned. Do you understand me? It's time to block them. It's time to go with the cops and get a restraining order, son. Why did you continue to talk to her? When someone is this unhinged to do something like this is when you block them. I mean, what made you think you could play with a pile of dynamite and it wouldn't blow up on you? Seriously. Here's another picture from Sphinx Rain of BBJ and Sam. There's Allah. Oh, this is so Foodie during her ban, she was using different socks. Here's one of her socks saying, "Tubby Moose, if you can't tell the difference between humans and animals, one that have souls, you're beyond help and should delete yourself." So Tubby Moose says, "Cats die, people." This is so Chantal. This is her under a sock. In Foodie's eyes, cats and dogs and pets, they don't count because they're not human. Chantal, pets are living things. Pets are living things. Animals are living things. A lot of animals, they have feelings. They have emotions just like people do. They may not share our DNA, but they're still living things and they should still be respected. But maybe this is how, maybe in your mind, because you don't look at cats as being human, that's how you get out of being bothered about neglecting them. Oh, it's not human. It doesn't matter. Oh, it doesn't have a soul. It doesn't matter. It's okay. No, it's not okay. It's not okay. Animals have emotions just like people, and they have souls just like people. It's an old picture of Chantal and BBJ. Look how much better she looks. Book Lady B says, I'm a senior hospice foster cat home. Euthanasia is more often than not humane. Most animals don't live to old age without suffering. The thing is, BBJ has shown indications of pain and anxiety for over a year, and they did nothing. Doing it now is for Foodie, not BBJ. Exactly. So if Foodie puts BBJ down, It's not going to be for BBJ's benefit. It's not going to be because she's suffering and she's in pain, and that's the only course of action to take. It's not because that's the best thing for her. It's going to be about Foodie being a selfish bee and just wanting to be relieved from the burden of taking care of a pet. It's going to be completely selfish. There's Foodie in somebody's chat. Oh, here we go. This was from Foodie going on Twitch, and the people on Twitch are brutal because it's a gaming community. Don't mess with the gamers. And Foodie, even though you've had a YouTube channel for like 4 or 5 years, you're just a big old soft marshmallow. You're so thin-skinned, and you dared to walk into the Twitch arena with all the other gladiators. You think you're going to walk out unscathed? No. Gamers don't hold back. And look, here's what some of the people were telling her. I'm not going to read it. You guys can read it. But Twitch is brutal. You went on Twitch because you were blocked on YouTube, and the people on Twitch were giving it to you. And I love that for you. I love it for you. These are all the texts from Chantal under her, is it whatever, like Melissa Cook, whatever bazillion. I mean, she made up all these names. But I'm going to say this. Natter, you can sit there and say whatever you want about Foodie, about Chantal. You could have stopped this at any time, dude. Likewise with her to you. If either one of you were completely bothered to the point where you're like, I can't take it anymore, y'all could have stopped at any time you wanted. But you didn't. You and Foodie have this sick, disgusting, toxic game between the two of you. I think it's one part of both of you needing drama for YouTube, and the other part is you're both obsessed with each other. Seriously, I think you're both obsessed with each other in a very sick way, but you're not doing this obsession in private. You need an audience for some stupid reason. We don't want to be involved in this. We're tired of it. And if the two of you have plans to start up another drama arc when, Foodie gets home, forget it. We're bored with this. We've been here before. This is nothing new. We're tired. Leave us alone. Bubblebutt Booty Meat Jones says the issue has never been that Chantal doesn't make enough money to pay for the vet. She makes more than enough to pay for it. Chantal and Peetz see BBJ as a burden and are waiting for her to die. She's not lively and young like Sam, so they're over it. They want her to die. I agree with Bubblebutt. That's the attitude. I don't know what this poor cat has done to warrant such a hateful attitude towards her. It's heartbreaking. What has this cat done to anybody? She's not hurt anyone. I've been watching Chantal's stream. She doesn't do anything wrong. It's not like she's running around being a hellion and peeing on the carpet and tearing stuff up. She's an older cat. You get an animal as a puppy or a kitten, it's going to have its season of spring where it's new and it's lively and it's bouncy and it's funny. But then over the course of its life, it goes through the seasons of spring, summer, fall, then winter. When the animal gets to be a senior, it's in the winter phase. It's in the quiet phase. And if you're someone, you take on an animal when it's young and you have fun with it and it's funny and bouncy and young, the pet has given you all of its best young years, and you had fun and you got a lot of good memories, then you owe it to a pet to be there during its later years when it's slowing down. But that's not the way Chantal thinks. If it's not amusing her, if it's not something fun, she gets bored. She wants nothing to do with it. So BBJ is in the twilight years of her life, and Chantal doesn't want to be bothered. She just doesn't want to be bothered. So this is from Hidden Truths, Foodie Beauty talking about BBJ.
Curse God for taking her. Like, I don't know. Curse God for taking. She's like 20. So, old age. Are you gonna blame death? Are you gonna, like, curse God for taking her? Like, I don't know. The false outrage is ridiculous.
It's not false, though. It's not false. I don't think you get that. People are genuinely upset. They are concerned, Chantal. This is not false. This is not phony. You may have a channel where you make up storylines and arcs and you tell lies to people, and for you, it's just entertainment. It's not real. But the suffering of an animal is real, and people getting upset over it is real. The outrage is not false.
You need a dirt nap. I love it. I love it, Accountable Beauty. So you wish death on me because I'm not pro LGBT anymore, right?
I would like to pose this question to Foodie Beauty. So by your logic, if an animal becomes older and they happen to fall ill, the automatic solution is to euthanize them? Like that's the final solution, that's the only solution? There's no other solution where you can nurse them back to health and they'll be healthier and they can go on for another 4 or 5 years or so? Question, Chantal. You're getting to be almost 40 years old and you're not exactly in the best of health. You have limited mobility these days. You can't walk very far. You have an enlarged heart. You've had blood clots in your lungs. You've got non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. You have diabetes. You are very, very sick. And you're making yourself sicker by continuing to eat to the point where you almost could be bedbound. How would you feel if society looked at you that way and said that to you? Oh, you're old. You're sick. We should just give up on you and put you down. How would you feel? How would you feel if society didn't give you a chance to redeem yourself, to be better? Just said, oh, that's the final solution. That's what we're going to do. I don't know how long you're going to live, Chantal, like what your life expectancy is going to be. You're certainly not helping yourself by making yourself more unhealthy, but understand this, ma'am. You have this awful attitude about anything that's sick or old. Understand that one day you're going to be old. You're going to be a senior. Would you want to deal with people talking about you, dealing with you the way you deal with others right now? No. You need to check yourself.
Curse God for taking. She's like 20.
And
So, old age. Are you gonna blame death? Are you gonna, like, curse God for taking her? Like, I don't know.
you know, she's 20 years old, but sometimes dogs and cats can live well past 20. It makes me so mad. The attitude that Pure and Peetz have, it's almost like they're looking at her like, you're 20 years old. Why aren't you dead yet? Why aren't you dead yet? Like, you're 20, you should be dead by now. Why aren't you dead yet? That's the attitude I'm getting off these two. Like they're looking at her like a gallon of expired milk. Oh, you're no good. You're 20. You should be dead now. You should be in the dirt already. It's so sick. It's so sick. If you don't want a pet, you don't want to take care of them, give them to somebody that will do it. It's so simple to deal with. Okay, Wiccan Mother says, BBJ does deserve better, and there are 3 mobile vets in the Orleans area that can provide care. They can do a simple consult over the phone. They even have a mobile lab and oxygen if needed. Pets are like children. If you're not in it for the long haul, don't get them. Agreed. 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 Okay. This is from Hidden Truths. Oops, sorry. This is people giving her hell on Twitch. They were throwing those tomatoes. Bravo to all of you Twitch trolls. Give it to her. She deserves it. I love that for her. Look at the tomatoes. And you know what was really great is that she tried it. She was turning on, like first she did like open chat, then she turned on subscriber only mode. Then, I mean, she was trying every mode in the world to get around those trolls, and they were not having it. It was great. Okay, this is from Kristen. She doesn't give a crap that BBJ might be unwell. She's going to take her to the vet no sooner than that. After she returns to Canada, and she low-key sounds like she's hoping the vet recommends euthanasia. Even if the vet doesn't recommend euthanasia, that's what she wants to do. That's what she wants to do. And like I said, I think she would do it just to hide all of the neglect that she's put BBJ through. She doesn't want that being exposed. And she doesn't want to pay to make her well either, because if you have an animal that's been neglected for a long, long time, more than likely it's going to take some money to get everything fixed. And if BBJ has thyroid issues, kidney issues, her nails have to be clipped, she needs medication, that's more money than Foodie wants to spend, unfortunately. So there's BBJ. And I agree with meandering thoughts, by the way. So that's it for this React video. I just want to put everything together because Chantal, her ban has been lifted. And she posted like a short, which I really don't give a crap about. But I want to end the video with that picture. Chantal, I know you watch everything about you. That baby deserves better. Do you hear me? And think about this. You've always said you want someone to love you. You keep saying you want love. You have love already, right here. The love that you've been searching for, you already own. It's in your house. This baby right here, this sweet angel, gives you unconditional love. And she's been there for nearly 20 years. She's been with you through the good times, the bad times, the rough times. She's seen you at your worst and forgave you. And even during that whole year when you were running after Natter, spending a week or two at a time at his house, she would always be there for you when you came home. Pets give unconditional love. And yet, where's your attention? On men that don't give a crap about you. They care about what's in your pocket. They care about your money. You're such a fool. You're willing to neglect real love in favor of fake love. Fake love is just that, Foodie. It's phony. It's not real. And you can't hold on to it. This love right here, you can hold on to. It belongs to you. So why aren't you taking care of it? Compared to all the money that you spent on Natter and Sala and whoever else, these cats don't ask much. They don't ask much. They just want you to take care of them properly and to love them. That's just a small price to pay for all the love they give in return, all the understanding they give. And there's no fake outreach here. There's a lot of people in the community that actually care about BBJ and Sam. And I know that's a hard concept for you to grasp. How can strangers care about my cats that don't even belong to them? There's a little thing called compassion, Foodie, and empathy. We have it, you don't. You don't have to own something to care for it. I care about BBJ. I care about Sam. And I pray every day that nothing bad happens to them. And it sucks that they ended up with you and you don't care because you're too busy chasing around crackheads and paid for actor husbands. I pray every day that you have a moment of clarity and you give them to somebody to take care of. That you come to your senses for just 5 minutes and you give them to somebody that gives a crap. And if you want to continue to go on and party, have at it. I'll say it again. I feel a big part of your problem is that you created a character for YouTube, Foodie Beauty, and you poured all of your energy and all of your thought and all of your lies and all of your manipulation and all of your controlling into that character, into your YouTube channel. You became obsessed with your character and the controversy that it caused, because controversy led to profit. You got obsessed with money. You started worshiping at the altar of money. And the money and your character were linked together. You exploited everything you could. You monopolized everything you could just to keep the money flowing. And the more you poured into the character Foodie Beauty, the more you neglected Chantal Marie, to the point where Chantal Marie no longer matters. Chantal Marie doesn't have a sense of true identity. Your identity is now Foodie Beauty. It's all you care about. And anything connected to Chantal Marie from before, like your bills, like your rent, like your car, like your cats, these are things that are now burdens to you. And you don't want to care about. You just want to focus on the character, not the person. Everything is out of balance right now because you poured all of your energy and thought into one side of the scale and not the other. And so you have this poor creature who's suffering because the person is now a character, focused on her character. And she won't get off stage and just be a person, be happy being a person. So you know what, Foodie? If you are such a narcissist, if you're so selfish, if you got to have that spotlight so much that you don't want to get off stage, you want to stay in the spotlight all the time, do right by these babies. Give them to somebody who doesn't want to be on stage, is very happy to be off the stage taking care of them. Doesn't need the spotlight to feel important or to have a sense of self-worth. You do. If you're obsessed with the spotlight, if you're obsessed with attention, if you are completely wrapped up in your character, Foodie Beauty, to the point where you don't care about Chantal Marie anymore, then give away that which is connected to Chantal and be done with it. So that's all I want to say. Hope everybody has a great day. I'm going to keep an eye on Foodie and see what she's up to. Y'all have a good one and have a good day. Bye-bye.